Hello, everyone. Hope you all are doing well. We are into day 8 of our 30-day challenge of aerial training. Hope you all have been having a blast. I've been having a blast. I feel like I've been getting a little bit better, and I've been having fun making some of these training packs. Speaking of which, there is a new little training pack today. Today, we're going to kind of focus on consistency. Now that we've looked at how to set it up, and we've looked at some different types of aerials that we can do, and some of the harder angles are just different angles. We're just going to do a few basic setups and just kind of work on making sure we're consistent with what we're doing. We'll have a little goal that you guys will set later on in the video. We'll talk about that later, but for now, let's just get warmed up, shall we? Feel free to warm up with me or skip ahead, whichever you want. I'm already kind of warm because I was making the training packs, but it's still good to just kind of experiment, drive around, get your fingers warm, etc., you know? Always feels weird to me, start of the day, just kind of getting on, and I don't know, my fingers just don't want to work. It's weird. I'm happy it's getting warmer out. It means my fingers won't be as cold. Yeah, we're just gonna get warmed up for a minute. And I'm always curious to hear about people's training regimens, so feel free to let me know in the comments what you do to train, what you do to warm up. I'm always looking for new little things to add into my arsenal for warming up. I always kind of do it a little bit differently depending on what I plan to do for the day. Like, if I'm not playing any ranked or anything, I'll warm up and then I'll just decide what mechanic I want to grind for the day, you know? That's just kind of how it goes. I'm probably going to have to start doing more and more mechanical grinding now that I'm getting higher in rank. And I have to start getting a lot more consistent, so it's just going to be lots of replay, probably. Just working on individual small things. A boomer. One of the big ones for me right now, I think, is just ball catches. I'm not very good at just catching the ball. And it's pretty important to be able to, I think. Yeah, we're just getting warmed up right now. And that's what I prefer to do. I know a lot of people that don't like warming up, and then they'll just jump straight into ranked. And it's just, I don't know, I feel like that's a weird way to practice. Like, why wouldn't you warm up? Why wouldn't you want to feel like you're doing everything you can to play your best, you know? Like I already mentioned, I did already warm up, so it might be a little bit shorter for me. But I do sometimes just find myself getting lost in free play, just zoning out and working on one specific thing, so who knows. Hope you all are excited to start getting into some more advanced stuff, and that you've just been having a good little journey here, working on air dribbles with someone. Just a good little challenge, you know? Just good to challenge yourself. Work on something you may not be good at. I'm trying to think of, if I do another one of these, what I'd want the next mechanic to be. If you guys have any ideas, let me know down in the comments. Love to hear from you. Alright, I'm feeling pretty warm, so let's introduce you guys to the first training pack here. Aerial consistency is the name of this one, if you couldn't tell from the name of it. Anyway, we're just going to be focusing on really making sure all the fundamentals are in place and that we're just as consistent as we can be before we start getting into other things. I think tomorrow we'll probably start working on some harder angles, and then maybe the day after that we'll start doing some ground to air dribbles. Those are always really fun in my opinion. And we're just going to keep building and building and building until we get into, you know, some of the more complicated things like pre-flipping into the air dribbles and just things like that. So let's go ahead and get into this. Just zoning out here. I think I have this set to... Yeah, okay. We have it set from the easiest shot, and then it just progressively will get a little bit harder. Again, most of these are going to be you doing your own setup. You know, I prefer everyone to learn their own setup. As you can tell, I'm a little not good at doing that right now. Make sure you practice from both sides. I'd say maybe make a goal for yourself to hit the shot like, I don't know, however many times in a row you want to. I think 10 is a good one to shoot for if you're shooting for real consistency. So if you really want to challenge yourself, you could do more than that, but I think 10 is a good one. Is really focus on getting that good setup, having it feel as comfortable as it can for you. You don't want it to feel super awkward. We want these to be really good, very consistent, very exact air dribbles. So if you feel like one wasn't like maybe as good as you'd like it to be, reset your little mental counter. I like to just try and think I'm doing 10. Like there, that was obviously a bad one. But once you get 10 down, or however many you've decided is your number, move on to the next one and just kind of keep on working on it like that. I recommend 10 for each side, so 10 from the left, 10 from the right. You guys like this little one? This one's pretty straightforward. It's just little air dribbles, different points in the field. I don't want to be too close because the really close ones are kind of hard, in my opinion. I put those into the last ones just for... They're good to practice, and as for like a little bit of a challenge, because I think challenges are good. Yeah, so once you feel good from one side, go ahead and switch it to the other wall. This is my bad wall, as you all know, but it's okay. While we work on it. Remember, make sure you're pretty relaxed and comfortable and well hydrated, well rested when you're training. It's pretty important to make sure you're feeling good. I feel like it's really hard to train well if I'm in a noisy environment or like just uncomfortable in general. So make sure you're eating, sleeping well, all that stuff, guys. It's really important if you want to improve. That was a pretty good one. Remember not to boost too much. We're just looking for consistent setups here. More advanced players, you can obviously try and do this a little faster, set it up different, do different types of setups. The more basic players, you know, just if you can't hit 10 in a row, maybe just shoot for, you know, for the day 1 or 2. Maybe that's all you can score today, and that's fine. Or just maybe two setups that really felt good to you, and just shoot for those on each of the 5 shots here. So in total, will be about 10. I hope you all have been alright with the length of these videos. I haven't decided if I want to make them longer or if I want to do them shorter. I feel like that's kind of up to you all. I'm pretty good with this shot right here. I don't think I've done quite 10, but feeling a little more consistent from this other wall, which is nice. You just start incorporating the other arrow right, I believe. Because that's one of my my bad arrows, the one that I haven't really used that much. But it's good from this wall because I think it's technically a little bit faster for the setup. It feels so awkward. And don't worry if you don't hit it. Don't put too much stress on yourself. It's just Rocket League. You know, just here to have fun, learn, play the game. I just gotta get more comfortable holding my air roll down. My other one here, anyway. It's just weird. It's like a different part of my brain almost, it feels like. Anyone else ever feel like that? When you're like learning a weird, different mechanic from the left to the right? It just feels like it's a completely different part of the brain. Probably isn't. And just remember the fundamentals here. Good pop. Feather in the boost. Following the speed of the ball. Sometimes it's easy just to forget about the fundamentals. Like, oh, I know that I need to, you know, be the same speed as the ball. I know that I shouldn't just bang it off the wall. And I don't need to be boosting the entire time. It's weird how, when you get in the moment, that you just forget some of these basic things. So it's good to kind of remember them every now and again until they become essentially muscle memory. I'm going to go ahead and go on to the next one over here, a little bit further away, a little bit harder, but just incrementally kind of increase the distance. That way you're just slowly working on more and more difficult things. If you can't get them all, don't worry. Time will eventually get you there, and enough practice, so. I don't expect any of the beginner players really to be able to hit anything past half court. There should be 2 shots past half court, and they're a little more difficult, but I definitely don't expect you to get them every time, but it is good to work on. You don't have to air roll or anything. It's just good to know what the setup feels like, what it looks like, and maybe just start getting yourself familiarized with that. Remember to get a good pop and just carry yourself through the ball. Make sure the energy of your card's the same as the ball. Try not to get too many touches like I did there. I think it's good to try and get a really solid carry, like kind of like this. A bunch of like little consecutive touches I think are best. Switch up to the other side now. There we go. If you want, you can randomly practice double touches because you know you need to practice. Don't have to be super fancy with it. Don't gotta do a bunch of air rolls or nothing. Make sure you're pushing yourself and challenging yourself with these shots at least a little bit. More advanced players can try and carry the ball to slightly different locations in the net. Go ahead and go on to the next one here. A little bit further away. Hope everyone's having a chill day, by the way. Hope maybe this has helped some of you take a little time out of your day to maybe unwind a little bit. Just grind on something. I know for me it's a little meditative just to sit back and kind of work on a mechanic for a while. I think it's a little therapeutic, especially like if you just got out of a bunch of games. I normally play ranked earlier in the day, so sometimes it's nice just to unwind with something like this, just kind of turn your mind off, grind on, being consistent, you know, things like that. Let me know how many of these shots you hit in a row. I am curious how you guys are progressing, how you're liking the series, so... I'm pretty comfortable from this side, so I think I'll swap it up to the other now. Remember not to adjust your joystick too much. Try and just do a bunch of little micro adjustments instead of big ones. It's something I always kind of forget and have to remind myself time and time again. Okay. We'll go on to the last one now. The furthest one that's the furthest away. It's a little harder. Even for me, these longer air dribbles can be pretty difficult, but that's why we work on them. That way you can make sure you have a solid setup. And that way, once it comes up in a game, you can just give it a shot if you're feeling comfortable with it, you know? I think it's real good to practice these, like, kind of stages of varying difficulty, because it just gives you, like, an idea of progression as well. Like, you're like, oh, I could only hit that shot once every, you know, now and again. And then once you start hitting it more and more consistently, then you're like, oh, wow, I'm improving. And then something tangible you can look at. And I think that's always really rewarding. Good to try and recorrect your mistakes when you make these too. You won't always get the perfect setup, so it's good to practice from weird and awkward angles sometimes. Try and salvage it. Don't worry too much if you can't make too many of these. If you can't tell, neither can I. But that's why we practice. Alright, from the other side now. Alright, this video is going a little longer than most of them, but I hope you guys enjoyed this little routine that we did today. Hope you guys have been enjoying the series so far, and hope you guys are pushing yourself and just having a good time, relaxing and learning and, you know, progressing in aerials. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we'll do it again, and we'll keep on working. Alright, let me know how you guys are doing down in the comments. Maybe let me know your favorite candy bar. I don't know. That's gonna be it for us. Peace, guys. Have a good one.